From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Yesterday, at the State of the Union, Trump fiercely announced, if there's gonna be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigation. I think he slipped that last part in there expecting to get some sort of leniency. He was basically speaking down to Congress and claiming oversight need not wield its unworthy head, not now, not now. Well, Adam Schiff responded in the way that I think must be the opposite of what Trump expected, because today he announced that the House Intelligence Committee is going to launch a new probe into Trump's financial ties with Russia. Democratic leadership is going to scrutinize credible reports of money laundering and financial compromise involving businesses of President Trump and those people that are close to him. Now, what we have to wonder is, does a foreign government have leverage over Trump or over Trump's relatives? Or perhaps, since his relatives are sometimes associates, do foreign countries, Russia, have leverage over him, his relatives, or his associates? I want to know. It turns out Adam Schiff wants to know almost as badly as I do. He says that the Democrats are not going to be intimidated or threatened by Trump's warnings any longer. That ended with the midterm elections, and they're just out to do their job. President Trump now is accusing Schiff of presidential harassment. Now, I don't know. I've heard of a lot of different kinds of harassment. In fact, some of them being accused against Trump, but I've never heard of presidential harassment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I try. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Nonetheless, several of Trump's associates right now are going to jail, and others are awaiting trial, and they may or may not, but probably, if things are going the way they look like they're going to go to jail too. And members of the House Intelligence Committee have now voted unanimously to give Special Counsel Robert Mueller copies of all the interviews that the committee conducted during the GOP-led probe. It's widely alleged that witnesses lied to lawmakers during those interviews, and Dems are also subpoenaing records and challenging witnesses' supposed privileges, like executive privilege, saying that this knowledge is executive privilege. They're going to have to come back in and answer some questions, it seems like. Meanwhile, House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler promised a high-profile grilling of Acting Attorney General Matthew G. Whitaker. You know that guy as the one who was sweating bullets the other day? Just buckets and buckets of bullets of sweat. So far, we haven't gotten to hear a lot from him. But it turns out they're going to move forward with a subpoena to compel Whitaker's testimony. Now Democrats, I call them Dems sometimes, Nancy and the Dems are so emboldened, more emboldened than ever. It seems like they're finally ready to play hardball. Here's another story from the Chronicles of the Little Man being stepped all over. Payday lenders were handed a big break today by the Trump administration. In 2016, President Obama proposed a rule cracking down on payday loans, which he hoped would end the practice of predatory lending for good. Obama said, if you're making a profit by trapping hard-working Americans into a vicious cycle of debt, you've got to find a new business model. Oh, hope and change. Obama, I miss you so much. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just miss him so much. Well, the Trump administration decided to reverse that, of course. Today, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau officials said that they plan to nix the rule that requires payday lenders to check borrowers' ability to pay back loans. A senior CFPB official said its decision stems from a concern that there's not enough evidence showing that payday lending is unfair and abusive to need the rule. This same official admitted that if the rule had kicked in, some 2/3 of borrowers wouldn't qualify for a payday loan. Please don't be surprised that Mick Mulvaney, the acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, has accepted campaign donations from payday lenders. Oh, did you call it? I called it. He's also now Trump's acting chief of staff, because he does good work. Payday lenders have also donated substantially to Trump's inauguration committee, as well as throwing lavish company parties at a Trump Florida golf club last year. Cool. Okay, I get it. Payday loan industry feared the new regulations would force many of these payday lenders to just close their doors. Although they are not fully celebrating yet because there is still an Obama-era rule that limits the number of times a borrower can take out a loan in succession. Secession? Oh no, succession. The payday loan industry wants that rule gone. And hell, they want the CFPB gone too. It doesn't matter. The CFPB isn't gone yet. And in fact, it turns out the public has 90 days to provide comments to the CFPB about the proposal. So, and I'm probably too lazy to do it, but please, you guys out there, do something. Write your voice to be heard. 3 of the top elected officials in Virginia are wrapped up in scandal. 2 of them is with blackface, and the 3rd is with sexual assault, and that one just keeps getting worse and worse every day. The scandal's been going on since late Friday when it was discovered and made public that the governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, had pictures of himself in blackface in his college yearbook. It was kind of a mess. At first, he said that, yes, it was him in the pictures. But then the next day, he made a public statement denying that it was him, but said he did do blackface. It just wasn't that time. He had dressed up as Michael Jackson and learned how to moonwalk. And he was this close to doing the moonwalk before his wife stopped him and said, "Get a hold of yourself. You're freaking out here." Whatever. Anyway, everyone was outraged and there was calls from all sides for him to resign. He refused to resign. Then a few days later, I think it was yesterday, his lieutenant governor, Justin Fairfax, was publicly accused of sexual assault. And today his accuser went public with graphic details about how the hookup had gone terribly wrong during the 2004 Democratic National Convention. Yikes. Fairfax remembers the encounter. He just doesn't remember it the same way. He says that he denies allegations that it went terribly wrong. Then, as if that wasn't bad enough, today Attorney General Mark Herring admitted to and apologized for wearing blackface in college. He says he dressed up as rapper Curtis Blow for a 1980 college party when he was 19 years old. What the hell is going on in Virginia? Well, Ralph Northam is MIA right now, missing in action. No one knows where he's at. I think he's just stashed away trying to ride out this storm. For now, he's the governor. If Northam should step down, then Fairfax would succeed him. But with the sexual assault allegation, it's very possible that he would have to step down. Well, then Herring would be next in line. Well, if Northam leaves for the blackface and Herring does also, all 3 of these have to step down at once. The next in line for succession is a Republican, House Speaker Kirk Cox. So basically, an earth-rocking sexual assault case and blackface scandal could change the balance of Virginia. Not from the results of an election, but from shocking revelations of elected officials, which in turn could force them out of office. While the American people are clamoring for more accountability in racial relations and sexual conduct, some officials' pasts are certainly catching up with them now.